You saw the stream notification. You know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen. There I was in the gym. Hitting my cleans on the barbell. To the shoulder press. Compound movement type shit. And you know, in between sets, I like to read the news while I'm listening to music. And I just like to collect all the news that's happening for the day so that when I get on stream, I'm ready to talk about it. And there I was scrolling in between a set. And I fell to my knees like Lil Durk. I fell to my knees like Lil Durk. And I'm sure everybody in the gym, they probably thought it was due to me exerting myself, hitting them cleans, because I was lifting them weights, trust and believe. But it was not because of the workout. Hold on, I just realized my ducking's not on. It's probably loud as hell. My bad, there you go. You should be able to hear me better. It's because rumors started to circulate online that Highguard developers at Wildlight Entertainment have seemingly been laid off. Most of the staff in specific. One said on LinkedIn, unfortunately, along with most of the team at Wildlight, I was laid off today. I said, say it ain't so. But I wasn't shocked. We've seen the numbers. They haven't been the best. And then, about an hour before I booted up this stream, the official Wildlife Entertainment account tweeted, "Today we've made an incredible difficult decision to part ways with a number of our team members while keeping a core group of developers to continue innovating on and supporting the game. We're proud of our team, our talent, and the product that we created together. We're also grateful for players who gave the game a shot and those who continue to be a part of the community." EA is ruthless. This is not an EA game. This is an independent game. This is not an EA game. It's former EA devs who left to form their own studio. This is an independent game. So let's not spread that and get that twisted or whatever. So I read this and I was like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But they did it to themselves. We gotta be real. We gotta be real. Let me turn my music off real quick. All right, let's talk about what actually happened with this one, man. Jokes aside. I do not think that there is one particular thing that caused, and to be fair, they said they're going to continue supporting the game, but let's be real here, chat. With this official announcement, them laying off the majority of the staff, the game is on its deathbed. I'm not gonna lie, when you make statements like this, as someone who wanted to see this game win, it makes me wanna, I'm probably gonna uninstall it, especially because tomorrow is supposed to be the reveal of Season 2 of Battlefield 6. I already got Neo 3 to grind. I like to have one single player and one multiplayer game to play at the same time. It makes me wanna give up on it because it sounds like y'all giving it up. You laid off, how do you claim that you want to continue to support and build upon the game, but you laid off the majority of the staff? I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe it. It is a giant red flag. But let's have a fair conversation about why this game failed, because I don't think it's one particular thing. If you listen to the chuds on fucking Twitter, it's because it's the worst game alive, Concord 2.0. That's not a productive conversation. Let's have an actual productive conversation so that hopefully some future studios or game devs can learn from this. Because I'm not gonna say it's 100% chance this game is gonna be shut down. I'll give them a 10% chance of a comeback. I'll give them a 10%. It's not much, but it is. Because to be fair, Cyberpunk came back. What's that space game? It came back. Fallout 76 even found an audience for itself. Some games have came back. It is very hard. The difference is those games have way more funding. As mentioned earlier, a dude was blaming EA. Yeah, No Man's Sky is what I was thinking of. Those games had a lot of funding. This is not those games. This is an independent game, so they are fighting a seriously uphill battle. So why do I think that this game has been a flop? As someone who actually put, I don't know how many hours did I put into this game. Let's look it up real quick so people don't call cap on my rap. I think I'm more qualified to talk about this than anybody else because I actually gave the game a fair shake. And there's things that I liked about it and there's things that I disliked about it. As someone who has 16 hours on the game, the last time I played it actually was just this past weekend, like either Saturday or Sunday. I ran a few games with some friends. As someone who's actually gave this game a fair shot, the first fuck up I think that a lot of people are not talking about, they kind of talking about it, but then not really, is the whole Jeff Keighley drama, right? So for those who weren't following the story of Highguard, it was announced as the last game at the Game Awards. Apparently, Jeff really liked the game because he was shown it early, and he decided he wanted to give the last slot to a small indie studio. And at the end of the Game Awards, and millions of people were watching across the globe, and he hyped it up. From day one, if you've been in this stream, I said, because even I said when they first announced this game, I was like, it looks kind of like a generic hero shooter. I said day one, they fucked up by allowing him to put this game at the end of the Game Awards. They should have put it in the middle, at the beginning, anywhere but the end, where Jeff hyped it up like it was the next big thing. So he is a little bit to blame, but here's the part you're not going to expect. I put a little bit on Jeff, but we also got to talk about Wildlight. Because to be fair, Jeff was shown this game early and he really liked it. He just wanted to show them love, right? But it has been confirmed by the studio CEO that this game was originally supposed to be shadow dropped like Beyonce style, a Beyonce album style drop, or like the original Apex. They were just going to release it out of nowhere. If they would have did that, I think this game would have had a much better response because there were no expectations for it. Instead of putting it on the Game Awards stage with a big poster saying made by former Apex Legends and Titanfall developers, right? So I gotta give some credit to Wildlife for why this game failed, the higher ups at whoever's running this studio. I understand Jeff liked the game and he gave you an offer on some Mafia shit that you could not turn down. They said, damn, we're a small indie studio. This is our first game. He's offering us the main stage in front of millions of people for free. It is tempting, but at the end of the day, you did not have to accept that deal. Because where I think Wildlife fucked up is they failed to realize their original marketing plan was to shadow drop it. The moment you decided to show the game early to drum up some type of excitement before release, your marketing team should have shifted the marketing strategy. So this is what I mean. You had two scenarios where I think this game would have had a much better outcome. When you guys decided that it was going to be on the stage at the Game Awards, what you should have did is, remember you were supposed to shadow drop it? You should have dropped it that night. You should have dropped it that night. You end the show with a bang, let people download it and play it. There would have been some energy around it and people would have gave it a better shake. Instead, they revealed the game at the Game Awards for some reason, and then for a month straight, they never said anything about the game. Their social media page went completely quiet. This is the same dumb shit that fucking G4 did. When G4 relaunched, we had 30,000 concurrent viewers in our Twitch alone. I don't even know how many were in YouTube. It might have been 40,000 plus, maybe 50. We had crazy momentum. And then the next day, they shut down the G4 studios so they could plan content, and we went radio silent for a month. This is the same dumbass strategy. So you should have dropped the game the day you announced it at the Game Awards if it was ready. Or here's another strategy you could have took. You reveal the game at the Game Awards, and then after that, you had until a month after it was revealed to the launch, right? I think there was, let's see, how many characters in Highguard? There was 8 characters at launch, and there's the 9th one now for DLC. That's actually fucking perfect. 4 weeks in a month, 4 weeks in a month. You guys could have dropped 2 character trailers per week. highlighting the different heroes in the game to get people excited. You could have showed off their abilities, the lore, the maps, the world. You should have been trickling out information explaining what this game was to keep the excitement there. What happened was you went radio silent for a month. You didn't talk about this game, and you allowed the internet to form an opinion about something they didn't see. And this is where I got to get on the internet. And this is why I also said this game didn't fail for one reason. It was a culmination of things. They allowed the internet to form an opinion. And then also the internet, I've been calling this shit out. It's getting fucking weird. The worst offender was like a week before. There was a Twitter account that posted a screenshot of his Steam account, and he photoshopped Highguard into it, and he tweeted, "This game is trash. I just played it." Why did you allow people to do that? At bare minimum, put a fucking tweet out saying this nigga never played this shit. That shit got 5 million views. So 5 million, you didn't talk about your game for a month straight. 5 million people got to see a tweet saying your shit is trash because he beta tested it when he never did. He got community noted, but it got community noted like 2 weeks later. It was too late, bro. It was yeah, they was letting shit run wild. Then people started putting out tweets. It's been a month. The game releases in a week. What's going on with this game? Dead. So people were calling it dead already. Then on top of that, also we have to take into consideration during the announcement on the Game Awards, there were people just upset that this wasn't Titanfall 3. And do I think that's fair? No. I've been talking about this. People need to learn how to review things for what it's supposed to be versus what they want it to be. That's a different conversation. But that was part of it. So you had people spreading misinformation, lying about the game. Y'all weren't defending yourselves or saying anything. And then you also had a group of people that hate Jeff and were upset that this was not Titanfall 3. And Dr. Disrespect pedophile ass also lying that he was at the event. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta keep it real. This might be one of the worst PR runs that I've ever seen for a fucking video game. It might be worse than Concord. Because at least with Concord, they just put it out and they let the people, like they let bullshit run rampant. I couldn't believe what the fuck I was seeing. So you let the lies run rampant. And then here's another thing. Here's the last thing that, here's the last part where I'm gonna say they fucked up bad. Just for transparency, in case y'all didn't know, I did get paid to stream the game. I did not get paid to give my opinion on it, but they offered me advertising money. Hey, play the game for 2 hours. Put a link in your chat promoting the game. Easy money for me, whatever. Let me get the bag. The night before the game dropped, I sent the email to these people at Wildlife Entertainment and I said, hey, tomorrow I'm supposed to do my sponsored stream. How do I preload the game? These folks responded to me and said, oh, you're gonna boot up the stream, you're gonna watch the press conference with everybody else, and then you're going to download the game with everybody else. When I got that email, I already knew what it was. I sent the email back and I said, ain't no cap in my rap. Cause niggas swear, cause I did a sponsored stream that I'm a fucking sellout. I'm not gonna tell the truth. I've been telling the truth since day one. I just said that I think y'all be lying, that y'all not telling the full story with this game. But we gonna keep it real. Yeah, I've been saying free don't mean shit to me. We gonna keep it real on this shit. I responded back to that email and I said, I don't think that's a good idea. If you want people to promote your game, you should make sure the influencers who have it, they have it early so they're prepared to showcase it in the best light. They said, no, we just want to drum up the success. Just, you download it with everybody else. Okay. The stream comes the next day. We watch the press conference together. And what happened? Who was in that stream? And I didn't lie on that stream. That was during a sponsorship. I can't even fucking lie if I wanted to. During a sponsored stream, they dropped the game. Everybody's scrambling. 100,000 people at once were trying to download the game at once. And as predicted, because this is an indie studio, the servers got hit hard. First, I was struggling to download the game because too many people were trying to download it at once. Then when we booted it up, We sat at the fucking loading screen for 30 minutes. So this is also where they fucked up. You guys should have did a beta. You should have did a beta to stress test your servers so you know what you could and could not handle. Because if you would have did that beta, you would have let people preload the goddamn game so that things wouldn't be getting stressed out all at once. So what happened is the first like 30 minutes of my 2-hour sponsored stream, I was literally sitting in the fucking, not even the queue. I was just sitting at the main menu. I couldn't load in. That shit irritated the fuck out of me, bro. That shit irritated the fuck out of me. So, to the people saying, oh, this game failed because it's just live service slop. That shit is a lie. We talked about that on stream yesterday. That shit is cap as fuck. This game did have problems. I think that there wasn't enough loot on the map and enough things to do. I don't know if launching with the 3v3 was the smartest. The 5 was better. But it was a lot of disingenuous arguments about this fucking game too. Yeah, beta would have helped a lot. But surprised you didn't cut it off after 2 hours. Yeah, I think I ended up streaming for like 5 because I actually did. There's things that I liked about this game. This game is like it's like a 6-7. I swear to God, I didn't mean to do that on purpose. I swear I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I actually hate that I just did that. Yeah, I gotta ban myself for that one. It's like a 6 or a 7. It's an okay game with potential if they listen to feedback and it can get better. Gen Z, okay, bro. I fucking hate that I gotta keep hitting these damn beats. Hold on 1 second. There we go. But they didn't listen. I mean, they did listen. I take that back. They did try to fix things, but it was too late. The community, the internet, they decided they hated this game. They want to give it a fair shot. I think with this game too, unfortunately, I do think Highguard is going to have to be a martyr to start a greater conversation about Steam reviews, because that's another problem too. The people who, I'm not discrediting because I think they fucked up by not being ready with the servers. The people who couldn't load into a game and you not liking it, that's completely fair. That shit pissed me off. That is completely fair. I'm not talking about you. The people who played the game for 10 minutes on their profile though, 20 minutes, and then left a full-blown review, another conversation needs to happen with that too. I've seen on my tweet, some people leave some suggestions that I thought were pretty interesting. Somebody said right here, I think that Steam reviews need to be tied to an achievement. Once you get this far into a game, you get ready review achievement. With that achievement, then you could write a review. And I said, I think that's not a bad idea. I was saying for story games, the achievement can be tied to being like halfway in the game. For multiplayer, X amount of hours, plus you have to pull off something like get a multi-kill or something like that. 10 to 20 is one match, right? No. So there's a mandatory, and this is why I said they needed to control the narrative. 10 to 20 minutes is the tutorial. There's a mandatory tutorial, and it's pretty long because the game is unique. Despite what some people say, the game is unique. So like most people never even got out of the tutorial. They didn't even play a match. And in my opinion, you need about, it took me like 3 matches before it kicked, like the gameplay clicked for me, because there was a lot of nuances in the gameplay. So the fact that most people did the tutorial and then left a review, that's bullshit to me. That's bullshit. And I would say the same thing for any game. That's not fair. So they need, on another conversation we've been talking about, Steam needs to figure out some way to make reviews more reputable, more what's the word I'm looking for, trustworthy. That's decent. But then you have people like X33 that will speed run just to give a disingenuous review. Well, yeah, that's why he was saying that you should probably tie it to an achievement versus the amount of time played. So yeah, I think this game being in the situation that it's in is a culmination of things. I think another thing that didn't help was the art direction. I said that when they first showed this off at the Game Awards, I was super indifferent about this game. I was like, it does look kind of like a generic hero shooter, but I said at bare minimum, I was like, it's free. I'll give it a fair shake because it's free. But the art direction looked like an Apex Legends clone, even like the UI. The gameplay mode is unique and I like it. I think the game would have benefited more and get a better first impression if it had a different art style than basically a live service clone. I'll give people that much. Not a lot of people know about the block and loading though. You can play a game for 2 hours and give your thoughts. It ain't that serious. No. Because the problem is, I would say that's a fair argument if the world was honest, right? We're talking about people potentially losing their jobs. And I can't stress enough, when people lose their jobs, that does affect the economy, guys. That means less revenue is going to the economy. And I don't know if you guys have seen, the jobs market is the worst that it's ever been since, I think, 2003, like the Great Recession, they said. So no, it's not that simple. I would say that I agree with you if people were honest nowadays. Unfortunately, we have a grift. We have a grift community now. People who recognize that that hating on something is going to get a ton of views. And I said that it started with like Anthem, I think. Yeah, it took me a year to find another job. So trust me, you don't want people to fail. Rising tides raise all ships. So like if people were being honest, I'd agree with you, but they got to find some system out to get rid of these fucking grifters, bro. They do this shit on Metacritic. They do it on the Steam reviews or whatever. Job market is doo-doo right now. It is. But yeah, I don't think that the art direction helped with it. At least on Steam, it shows time played. If it was refunded, I think it also shows it was gifted, I think. Yeah, but the problem is when you go to the Steam page and you've never played a game, it'll just say positive, negative, overwhelmingly positive, or overwhelmingly negative. It doesn't say overwhelmingly negative with people who have an hour or less. It doesn't say that. Maybe that's what they could do. Clarify the stats a little bit better. It's crazy how people love to watch people hate. Shit is crazy. And listen, you allowed to hate something if you genuinely dislike it. I just like, can we be like, I feel like I'm authentic when I don't like something, right? I just feel like it's more so we're doing it for clicks and views now, and it's getting a little weird. It's unfortunate, man. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like I said, they did it to themselves. Some of it is Jeff, some of it is the game, and some of it is if I had to put it on the big three, the gameplay, Jeff, and then the marketing, I think the biggest culprit here is probably the marketing. That's why I said this might be the worst marketing campaign I've ever seen for a video game. You guys allowed the internet to shape a narrative about you instead of talking about your game after you announced it. You should have shadow dropped it, or you should have did a traditional build up to the release, but you didn't. And here we are. Bro, these companies failing are going to ruin gaming for sure. Artists are having a hard time finding work. Yeah, like I don't understand why people don't want to see jobs. Oh, back to what I was saying earlier before I move on too. Another thing that's disingenuous too, not just like the grifters, is the whole argument that the reason this game failed is because it was a live service game, and that's just not true. We talked about that on stream yesterday. Y'all love live service games. You just didn't like this one. The issue. So here's my problem with people making disingenuous arguments. When you make disingenuous arguments, it makes it hard to actually pinpoint the problem and then solve it. Which means it says to me, low key, you're not actually trying to solve the problem. Because the problem with this game was the marketing and the quality of the game. Leave the conversation to the quality of the game. And that's why I said, when the game launched and you ran into server issues, I'm not talking to you. You're valid because you tried to boot it up and play it. It was a lot of people that just made shit up. So don't say that. That's a completely disingenuous argument. Y'all fucking love live service games. GTA 5 sells 10 million copies every year. The #1 best-selling game last year was NBA 2K26. Black Ops 7 was up there. Number 2, I believe, was Battlefield 6. Overwatch is having a renaissance. Helldivers is having a renaissance. I don't want to hear this shit, bruh. Y'all niggas love these live service games. Madden, FIFA. You just didn't like this one, and that's okay. But don't lie about the shit. We got the numbers on you niggas. Arc Raiders, you on that shit. Helldivers, you on that shit. Overwatch, PUBG, Marvel Rivals, Deadlock, Rust, Apex, Dead by. These are all live service games, guys. And maybe because some of y'all like them, you don't understand that. But these are live service. The majority of the top played games are live service. It's a lie. It's a lie. So one of the reasons why you caught me defending it is not because I give a fuck about this studio as a whole. It's more about the discourse. You cannot solve the problem unless you actually pinpoint the problem and be honest about it. It's like bitching and complaining with people who are robbing because they're hungry. We'll solve poverty. That's the fucking issue, the poverty. Stop trying to paint this image like black and brown people are fucking savages. It's the same. This is the gaming equivalent of this shit. You said, that's my Hokage? Be honest. That's all I'm saying. Be honest. instead of trying to paint a narrative, bruh. Because I can't stress enough, we're also talking about video games. It's very weird to me that people are trying to paint narratives. I swear TBH has gone over this exact topic at least 10 different times, and they still don't get it. So I hope people understand where I'm coming from. This game is a failure. I'm not denying that shit. But there is nuance to this conversation. The main thing I want everybody to take away, and I would do this with any fucking game, is there is nuance to every fucking conversation. Everything ain't black and white. Something like, what's that drink from Ubisoft? X-Defiant. That game failed because it was poor quality and then they didn't listen to feedback. The game was rampant with cheaters. Also, the hit detection was bad. And ultimately, it failed. You guys kept the conversation mostly about the quality of the game, and that's why it failed. Maybe it'll be the next predecessor in a couple years. Nah, because the thing Paragon had going for it is it had a strong community. Paragon had a diehard community. So diehard that people downloaded the Unreal Engine 5 and made a spiritual successor. I don't think this game has a community like that. It's our education, bro. They got us all fucked. Yeah, we got to bring this critical thinking. I'm waging war on this shit. I'm waging war. Because I do feel like tonight I articulated myself a little bit better. I hope people understand the stance that I'm coming from. My main argument is I'm sick of this black and white shit, bro. Let's have some nuance to the conversation and be honest about what the fuck is going on. Because this live service game, nobody wants to play live service. That's not why this game failed. That's a fucking lie. When Paragon went offline, they dropped every asset for free. That's true. That's true. So that's my take on Highguard. Unfortunate. Like I said, I think it's a 90% chance this game is cooked. I'll give them 10% chance that they come back. Justin Bieber said, never say never. Never say never. But we've seen it. We've seen how this story goes. It is what it is. Unfortunately, the hate mob. Unfortunately, the hate mob's mission was a success on Highguard, and now they'll move on. Yeah, I know they're happy. I know they're happy. What they thought they were gonna do to Assassin's Creed Shadows, they did it to this game. We are in a high entertainment climate right now, where pre-release marketing can trigger organized backlash campaigns unfairly. To be honest, shit's weird, man. Shit's weird. And more positive news though. Reanimal dropped. This is the new game from the creators of Little Nightmares. It is a co-op horror game, and the reviews are good. Currently, it's sitting at an 80 overall Metacritic. See some 9s, some 8s, some 7s, 1 6. Shout out to them. Another banger. The downside is there's a high probability the Highguard servers are going down. The good news is the servers for Reanimal are going up. So we got some. I don't want to hear nothing about you ain't got nothing to play. I don't want to hear nothing. Shout out to them, man. I might play this one. I gotta talk to somebody and see if they want to play. I might play, but I don't know because Neo 3. It's kind of got me in a chokehold. I'm itching to play that shit. I'm not gonna lie. What else I got? Oh, more positive news. Neo 3 has reportedly sold 700,000 copies across PS5 and PC in only 4 days. I don't know why they're reporting first 4-day sales. They should have waited till the end of the week. I predict probably by this time next week, it'll probably be at 1 million at the numbers they're pushing. This is really good considering Neo is, first of all, Souls games are niche. And then this is a niche within a niche because, you know, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, that's the big boy. And then Neo's kind of like under it. So this is a W. Shout out to them. I think it'll hit 1 million easy. It'll go over 1 million over its long. I think they said this is the best selling one in the series, but I think they should have waited for like a week to report the numbers. But you know how Twitter is. Everybody want to get the numbers first, I guess. Resident Evil's next week. Is it really? I thought Resident Evil comes out the 29th. Wait, get the fuck out of here. Resident Evil 9 release date. No, it's not. They can come out the 27th. I know I wasn't bugging. It's literally at the end of the month. We got 2 weeks. We got time. We got time. I really hate that this music player keeps going off. Is there a way to set it to autoplay? No, whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's coming later. You could have fooled me with how many damn Souls-like games there are now. I hate that argument too. The only people who make that argument are people who don't like Souls games. There is an uptick of them. I'll give you that much. There is an uptick of them, but there's really not that many. And there's plenty of other things to play. Was that YouTube or Twitch that asked about the release date? I didn't see. I'm much. That was YouTube. That was YouTube. I'm not gonna rag on him for that though. He just got the date wrong. Yo, chill. Y'all be ready to hang a nigga. Relax, bro. That is not a reason to beef with a nigga in the chat. God damn, he just got the date wrong. Shit happens. Like, it wasn't a dumbass comment. He just didn't know. It's okay. Yo, shout out to Goldo with the sub. 4-day numbers. They couldn't wait to flex a little bit. They couldn't wait. And bad news. We just gave 2 good news. Bad news. The great Ramageddon of 2026 might have just claimed the Steam Deck. Oh boy. Less than a week after Valve admitted that the current shortage of RAM was affecting its hardware plans, the Steam Deck is completely sold out. The Steam Deck has gone in and out of stock in the past, but as Kotaku notes, the timing does raise the question whether Valve's RAM issues could also be impacting its Linux handheld. The 250 gigabyte Steam Deck LCD and both the 512 gigabyte 1 terabyte models of the Steam Deck OLED are completely sold out on Steam. Valve announced that it was discontinuing the LCD versions of its handheld and selling it through the remaining inventory in December 2025, so the fact that the 256 gigabyte Steam Deck model is currently sold out isn't surprising. That both OLED versions are also available at the same time, though, is a bit more unusual. Engadget has contacted Valve for more information about the availability of the Steam Deck, and we'll update this article when we hear back. Yo, shout out to Tyler with the super chat. He says, sucks about Highguard. I'm not an FPS live service fan, but Highguard did look fun, but all these games coming out. Neo 3 is gas and Crimson Desert soon. Yeah, that's another thing, too. It's more competition than ever, so you have to stick that landing. You gotta stick that landing. When Valve announced the Steam Machine, the controller, and the Steam frame, the company notably left pricing and availability off the table, presumably because tariffs and access to RAM were leaving those details in flux. The company's announcement last week that the memory and the storage have been pushed back its plans and would likely impact prices more or less confirmed that. At no point did Valve mention that the Steam Deck would be similarly affected, and maybe it should have. This seems like it's speculation. I thought that was definitive. The rising cost of RAM has already forced other PC makers to adjust the pricing of their computers. Framework announced, yeah, this is speculation, bro. My bad. Yeah, this is what happens when you gotta meet a quota on articles. Just be saying shit, bro. I'm thinking this actually might affect something. There's no guarantee that this affected it. Because to be fair, isn't the Steam Deck like 3-4 years old? So the RAM it uses in this would be much older in comparison to what you need now for a modern. Yeah, this is fear mongering. I would take this with a grain of salt. It could be true, but it might not. That is why they use the word might. Yeah, they got to hit that. No, they do. These websites have to hit a quota for those unaware. Most mainstream websites, gaming and like tech, they prefer that their writers push out an article every 30 minutes. That's why their Twitter's always going out. It's because they have ad revenue on these websites. I can't see it because I got ad blocker on. Shout out to me. But if you didn't have ad block, these websites would be full of shit to slow down your computer. And it's because they need to drive traffic from their Twitter, their Facebook, and all their other platforms, Instagram, to the website. So they're constantly pushing out articles every 30 minutes, whether it's a new article or an old one. What else I got for ya? Even analysts are having a hard time predicting how much the Steam Machine will cost. We still don't know the price. And in a recent interview with one of the video games industry's leading analysts, it shows just how hard it is to predict. Sarcana Senior Director and Video Game Industry Advisor Matt Piscatella, which is a website we reference all the time for numbers. Shout out to Spaghettification with the sub. And shout out to Detroit with the sub as well, saying happy Black History Month. We appreciate you. Piscatella told the publication that he could see $1,000 as the system's price tag, but also admitted that he could see them going nuts and going under $700 if they want to eat some of those costs. The price of the Steam Machine is tough to predict because of factors outside of the video game industry itself. You know, the RAM and all this shit. So he's just giving his prediction. I'm gonna go ahead and say it before I'm moving on to this other articles. Valve, you guys are not hurting for cash. You get 30% of every video game sell on your platform, and Steam is and most likely always will be the #1 platform for buying games on PC. You guys are rolling in buku money. If there is a company that could subsidize a product, it's you. So if you guys want to get some good PR and build brand loyalty, here's a suggestion. Gabe, if you ever see this video, launch this thing at a loss. I know you most likely won't do it, but launch it at like $650, somewhere between like $450 and $700. Launch and take a loss for like a year. Because to be fair, this time next year, the Ram situation might calm down. You guys can take a loss for a year. And then here's you niggas need to pay me. Put out a tweet, put out a YouTube video and say that shit. Say that shit. Be like, look, due to the surging cost of RAM and GPUs, we were really struggling with the price, but we decided to do something for the people. So for the next year, this is what the price is gonna be. Because of your president. Well, no, this is what the price should have been because of your president. But this is what we gonna make it. Because we love our audience. Knowing Gabe Noel, he might just do it. Me personally, knowing that I know they're not strapped for cash, I would run the risk of taking a loss for a year. Just to build up that good rapport. Because I mean, to be fair, here's another thing you could do too, right? Let's say you're not 100% confident you'll make your money back off of these losses. What you could do to subsidize the Steam machine is do extra sales throughout the year. Instead of doing the seasonal summer, autumn, fall, winter sales, do a Steam sale in between. Instead of 1 per season, do 2 per season. Get them numbers up. Come on, man. Come on. Nah, Daddy Gabe needs that yacht. Will they do it? I don't know. Capitalism says most likely not, but it would be cool to see a company take one for the team. Just a small pinch ain't gonna hurt a damn thing. Valve, suck it up and quit crying. Yeah, I feel like you would build more. Because I mean, to be fair, the company I can think of is Costco. Costco does it. For those unaware, it's called loss leaders, right? In business. A loss leader for Costco is their hot dog. The price of hot dogs have gone up over the last 20 years. But that hot dog and that drink at Costco remains $1.50. The CEO has purposely said he does that because he loves the customers and he's willing to take a loss on that particular product if that means you keep coming to the store. You could do this, man. Granted, we ain't talking about a $1.50 glizzy, but you know, it is possible. Companies do this shit. Shout out to Nightmare with the $10 super chat. He said Valve can operate at a loss for a projected 2 years before they even feel the effects. They practically have a monopoly on PC. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't make this suggestion if they didn't have a monopoly, but they do have a monopoly on PC gaming, so they're fine. If more Steam machines get in the house, that means more people are going to be buying games from Steam. So the purchases of games is going to subsidize the Steam machine. Big Kirkland energy. Yeah, same thing. Arizona tea. Yeah, the price for the materials for tea, for Arizona tea, it's gone up, but they try to keep it at like $1. I don't know if it's higher than $1 now, but they've been trying. Do you think GTA will do something similar? Will they make the game 70 instead of 90 or 100 for the people? Nigga, you typed LOL at the end of that fucking comment. What you think? What you think? You think Rockstar? You think Rockstar, the company that has been milking GTA 5 since 2013 on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 with them shark cards, you think they give a fuck about you and your wallet? Y'all, yo, the cult of GTA is fucking... The fact that you even asked that question is crazy. Rockstar don't give a fuck about their fans. If they did, they want to implement a subscription service to their goofy ass game, bruh. No. I think the best case scenario for GTA 6 is the base version launches at $70. That's what I'm hoping. Because if it launches at $100, like the rumors are claiming it's gonna, I'm not buying that game, and I'm standing. I will not I know I'll most likely lose the war, but I'm doing it to prove a point. Because if that game comes out and it's $100, the base version, that will be the downfall. I won't say the complete downfall, but that'll be a big domino to ruin the fucking gaming industry. Because everybody's about to start charging $100 for a game, and y'all won't care because it's GTA's best game ever. Rockstar has not cared for their fan. I'm 100% taking a stance on the nah, I'm not paying that shit, bro. They know everyone wants to make it so 70 and get back some good PR type shit. Man, I don't know. Same people who own 2K, boy. Yeah, for those unaware, Rockstar is also owned by the same company that makes NBA 2K. It's all Take-Two Interactive. So you think we know for a fact that they're about to ramp up the microtransactions in WWE. Oh, they're salivating at the mouth on how they're gonna fucking monetize GTA 6. They're gonna start charging for golf clubs and shit. If it has a basketball mode, they're gonna charge for the basketball. $100 standard edition is fucking wild. Well, it's not confirmed. It's just rumors. It's Just to be fair, because I don't want to spread misinformation. I'm just giving a hypothetical. If it turns out it's true and it launches at $100 for the base version, just the basic version, no bonus features, I'm not buying that shit. Shout out to Jaguar with the sub, appreciate it. Steam needs to have an average hours next to the thumbs up or down when you're looking at reviews, so you know the majority of people you like actually played it. It does, but I feel like they hide the information. That's why I said maybe I think on the store page they need to show actual statistics of people who actually played the X amount of hours. Me either. Fuck that. Then again, those are out of the world who will buy for $100. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna cause damage to the community. If they charge $100 for the base version, that's the Fire Nation attacking, and people are just gonna open the door. What they say in centers, you have to let the devil actually into your house. You have to invite him into your house. Guys, GTA is the white guy, the Irish guy from fucking centers. That's GTA 6. If it turns out to be $100, you have to invite it into your house. It ain't welcome in my house, nigga. No, thank you. We saw what happened. Yeah, Remick. And some positive news. I wanted to show some love to, world-renowned content creator Rad Brad. The Rad Brad tweeted, and it showed up on my For You page yesterday on the 10th that he turned 39. So happy belated birthday to Rad Brad. Why did I want to shout out Rad Brad? Because here on this stream, we the numbers guy, okay? We know for a fact that 60% of gamers play games that are 6 years or older on average. And the 40% that are buying new games only buy 1 to 2 new games a year. And new games are defined by 3 years or younger. So the game could be 3 years old. Translation, most of you niggas is not buying games. But most of you niggas are coming into my chat trying to tell me how to play a game, best build, and it's because of the Rad Brad. See, Rad Brad has subsidized video games for PS4 niggas. Give it up for him, man. He does a playthrough of every game. This is not a shot at him, by the way. It's a shot at y'all. He plays the game, you guys watch it, and then you come in my chat and tell me how to play the game. And then we pull your achievements up and it says, wait a minute, you didn't play it. You didn't fucking play it. Shout out to Rad Brad. Happy birthday. Keep fighting a good fight, informing these PS4 niggas who don't buy shit. I'm paying $100 for GTA 6. Ooh, that's a good one before we move on. Let's say the base version of GTA 6 is $100, right? Hypothetical. And they confirm it runs at 30 FPS. It's locked at 30 FPS. Are y'all still buying it? And this question is for the people who don't care that it's $100. If it's $100 and it's locked at 30 FPS, would that make you be like, I don't know about that? With the performance, would that worry you? Feels like yesterday I found out about Rad Brad. We getting old, man. I got to see the reviews. Steam sale. That's fucking crazy. There is a high probability that GTA 6 will be locked at 30 FPS. Because a lot of you niggas was still in your father's balls, or you wasn't conscious back then. But back in 2013, I'm old. I was 23. So I was conscious when GTA 5 came out. I don't know if you guys know, but that shit was locked at 30 frames per second on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. There is a high probability that it will be locked at 30 FPS. Especially if this game is massive in scale that like they say it is. At least on the base PS5. On the PS5 Pro, I can see them upselling like an enhanced edition with 60 FPS. And then what about the PC? Well, no, the PC, you can't lock the PC, but you gotta keep in mind the PC is gonna come like a year later. GTA 6 at launch will be a console game. So the PC version goes without saying. That's not gonna be locked at 30. I'm talking about the console, which is where most people are gonna play. I was 14. Yeah, see, y'all don't remember. It was locked at 30 FPS. And why is something being locked at 30 FPS bad? It means that basically when it's locked at that frame rate, there's nowhere to go but down. See, at least when something's locked at 60 FPS or higher, when the frame rate drops, the frame rate drops to 45, maybe 55. It still looks decent, right? When the frame rate's locked at 30, when it starts dipping, which it will. That bitch gonna be dipping to 24, 15, 12. That shit gonna turn into a slideshow. Now your PS4 begging for mercy like fucking 50 Cent. Sound like you in space with no helmet on and shit. Your PS5 can't breathe, can't load all of Vice City. Now you sitting there crying and shit because this is supposed to be the greatest game of all time. Somehow the Red Ring of Death come back on the PS5 when it was supposed to be on the Xbox. It's gonna be the worst day ever. Particles flying. The PS5 hyperventilated. So I'm not saying it will be locked at 30 FPS, but I will say don't be shocked. There's a high probability it will be. Red Dead 2 at 30 FPS feels slow. Yeah, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. What the fuck? Start cooking the PS4. GTA 6, no PS4. You know the answer to that shit. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. Let me turn this shit on. Blizzard boss teases exciting conversations about Hollywood adaptations. If you're loving the movies and the TV shows for games, more might be coming. During a recent profile by Windows Central, Fareed indicated that there are exciting conversations that have taken place about new adaptations. She also noted that Blizzard is focused on the quality of any TV shows or movies based on its games. We just want to be responsible with the IP, right? Said Fareed. We want to make sure that if we bring anything forward, whether it's gameplay or whether it's beyond that, that it represents what we want it to signify. On behalf of Blizzard, it's got to be the best in class. We've had to set the bar in many ways in terms of creative excellence, and so that's what we're really going to focus on. Translation, they don't want to be anything like Paramount's Halo TV show. What up, Joan? Blizzard's executive Holly Longdale recently stated that the Warcraft IP is underutilized. Oh wait, there we go. Which suggested that she wants to see more games set in the universe. Although the Warcraft film underperformed in the United States, it did very well in the rest of the world. Former Diablo GM Rod Ferguson also floated the idea of a Diablo TV series, which he feels has a story that is tailor-made for an adaptation. That's one of the good things I really liked about the Diablo as an IP. Is that it's got very relatable things because it's the high heavens versus the burning hells, and that idea of good versus evil, said Ferguson in 2024. Yo, if they ever made a Diablo TV show or a movie, MAGA is gonna lose their shit. Y'all thought MAGA lost their mind when them niggas were speaking Spanish at the Super Bowl? Goddamn Bad Bunny, I wanna rub fucking, where's the good bunnies at? They're gonna fucking lose it. What the hell is this devil shit all over my fucking TV? I saw a devil ad at the Super Bowl about Diablo, the fucking. I'm pro-life. I don't want to do any of that Diablo shit, okay? I'm pro-life. Except for when it comes to feeding the children programs and universal health care and other things that help people. But, you know, I'm pro-life.